What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul,
And Dave.
bringing you the latest on Celebrity Big Brother, Episode 4. Okay, guys, so we just came off of a live eviction the other day where Chuck got eliminated. I believe it was a 7-1 vote.
It was 7-1.
Omarosa and Keisha were both blindsided. Ooh.
That's a whole alliance right there.
Yeah, that's a yeah, the Black Girl Magic was blindsided. Along with that, it seems like they're on the outs of the house. So that they jump into an HOH competition. Well, I think first Omarosa kind of asked for kind of like reasonings from Shannon on why this happened.
I'm sorry. So Shannon wanted to basically say, like, wanted everyone else to be in on it. She's like, hey, I want to talk to Omarosa, but I want this to be a group thing, so it's not he said, she said. I want Omarosa to hear from all of us. However, Omarosa approached Shannon according to Omarosa, it was within the first hour of the game, and she approached Shannon for, I'd say, like a final 2 deal or so for them to work together. So she wanted to hear from Shannon, why did you backstab me? And that resulted in her being, hey, you're a mean bitch.
Yeah, basically. And I see Patty's in the chat. Hey, Patty, how you doing? And if anyone wants to talk in the chat and ask us any questions about what we think about the game so far and whatnot, or just have any funny comments to make, feel free to chat down below if you're watching live. Okay, so yeah, I mean, they did have a final 2 deal in the first hour, so she's feeling a little betrayed here, like stabbed in the back. Now, this is a little different from what Omarosa was saying like the other day. When she was in alliance with Shannon, when she was basically saying, yeah, I want Shannon to take like the brunt of every single move in this game so she has all the blood on her hands. So now she's kind of playing like the victim, even though she was kind of using Shannon in her own way. But I think this is also part of her game, kind of saying, listen, I'm gonna try to make her feel really, really bad about it, just in case we can get her back, just in case I can kind of weasel my way back in there eventually. Because if the perception of Omarosa is being the victim, then it could lead to her possibly getting sympathies from other players, which could lead to future alliances. So I think she's playing it really smart, and I think it's all strategy. I don't think Omarosa feels particularly bad about anything at this moment.
No, and in particular with that, it's worth noting that Omarosa says that she always has a backup plan. The backup plan was Keisha. So the idea for Omarosa seemed to be like, hey, let's form all these like little alliances, and then when something goes wrong, I'll say something.
Drop 13's in the chat. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, and Omarosa is Omarosa. We'll just put it like that. We all know how she operates.
Pretty much.
And it's it's good fun. So Shannon also goes through her alliance and basically tells them, hey, listen, I made a final 2 deal with Omarosa in the first hour. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And Ross is like, whoa, really? JK, I'm not surprised at all.
Yep. So, but basically, Ross is like, well, even though I'm not surprised, that doesn't mean I could trust you. So, like, Shannon's trust with Ross, like, pretty much just shot all the way down.
What do you think of Brandy and Ari not getting the credit for planting seeds to Ross to backdoor Shannon on the edit of the show? Yeah, it's because Ross is the favorite, so of course they're going to show it as his idea.
Pretty much.
I mean, it is what it is, and it is also a timed television show, so maybe they didn't have time. Although that's not a good excuse in my book.
And still, regardless, though, Ross is the one taking the action, so we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely, or would be in this case if that decision comes into fruition.
Yeah, so I also think if it ends up that way, where Shannon being backdoored, I think they might show Brandy and Ari having more involvement with that if that action is taken.
Patty says not fair because the jury won't know that. The jury won't know that if they don't do their research, which we will be sure to let them know when they get out of the house.
That's true. This time around, they have access to everything when they get voted out.
Right. It's all up to us as the viewers and fans. Let them know everything that's going on.
Though I don't think Meta is going to pay a lot of attention, though.
Meta will do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Yeah, that was also funny to note that they brought up the fact that Meta said he voted for Chuck to stay. Oh my god. I think that was probably my favorite hashtag, Regretta World Peace.
Regret a world peace. I mean, if it was like a 4-4 vote, then maybe it would have been kind of bad. But it didn't really matter in the long run, as long as he knows now that that's
Yeah,
the
like if
case.
there was anyone to mess up, it was this one because there was like
Yeah,
no hope.
I'm sure Chuck just watched the episode and laughed hysterically. He's probably like, "Are you kidding me, Meta?"
Probably.
He's like, I was sure I had Meta. Oh, that's what happened.
I did
All right.
have Meta, but he voted. He just wanted to get at that Valentine.
So Keisha, basically, her concern is that she can only trust Omarosa right now, and possibly Meta, not really though. So she's basically it's basically just those two. It's Black Girl Magic to the end, or at least until Monday.
Probably Monday.
Probably Monday. We also find out that there's a couple of Final Four deals going on with James, Ross, Shannon, and Marissa. So that's a pretty interesting Final Four.
I really like that one, probably just because I like everyone in there. And I like the idea of James and Shannon teaming up because it's like you have the two powerhouses, so that could be kind of fun to watch for a little bit. But I don't think it's going to last long at all.
Do you think stars are going to listen to Big Brother fans? I doubt it. I mean, if we're loud enough, maybe.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, tweet us at them. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, so yeah, so that's I thought it was an interesting Final Four
Actually,
deal. I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think.
just to go on that question, I think super fans will. Like, I think like Shannon would probably go back and like watch everything, like
Yeah,
and watch people's podcasts. Honestly,
Shannon and Ross will. I believe that's the case, and a few other people like I'm sure James probably would too. Chuck probably will because he's gonna have the most time out of the house. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they all watch feeds. Who knows? It'll be really exciting. All right, so back to the game. So there's also Russ also has another kind of sort of Final Four deal with Ross, Marissa, Brandy, and Ari.
Yeah, Ross did say that he was in a lot of alliances, but I think it's either gonna blow up or they might give him a pass.
Yeah.
But then
I don't
again,
know.
what's worth noting is like Ari and Brandy were the ones who basically said we just want all girls a lot. We want a girl to win. So I feel like they really won't care what he's gonna do because they're probably like we're just gonna vote about it anyway.
Maybe that's their perspective. I mean, they it's interesting how things have evolved.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's jump into this HOH competition, which is a pretty
Bowl
standard.
Arena.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard one. Bowl Arena happened multiple times past couple seasons. You spin around and you throw the bowling ball up, hit the 4 pins, and you're supposed to do. And the point of it is you're Disney, so it's hard. Okay, easy. And you pick who you want to verse, so you can all team up on one person if you want to, which is basically what was going to happen if Omarosa won any of them. So
Yeah, which led to another confrontation between Omarosa and Shannon yet again.
yeah, and that was interesting to watch. I think that's also part of Omarosa's gameplay here. She knows it's a smart move for them to pick her every single time, but she wants to constantly jab at Shannon because she knows she's a super fan or a fan of the show. No. She told her she was a super fan, right? That she's a super fan of the show, and have her think, "Oh, I'm being the bad one this season." When in which case she's not. Well,
Pretty
not yet.
much.
Well,
Yeah.
not yet. Things can change in a week. Who knows?
Yeah, they could change like the end of the Monday night.
Patty says Ross should take Ari, perfect goat to drag to the end. Again, it's still only the second eviction. We don't know if Ari's a goat yet. Let's. But yeah, she does seem floaterish. Mark also seems floaterish. So I think
I'd even
Mark
argue
would be.
James is floaterish, but I feel like James is trying to save himself for now and then get like serious hard gameplay towards the end.
Yeah.
I think he's really shaken up from almost getting voted out.
Well, I think he acknowledges that he has to make sacrifices for his alliance, which we'll get to during this HOH competition. So yeah, Omarosa gets hospitalized after versing Marissa asthma attack, so she gets sent to the hospital. The house guests are pretty flustered because they got no information. She just immediately left and went into the diary room, not to return, never to return. I'm sure they did some sort of announcement saying to keep going, but
Yeah,
other
most
than
likely, because
that,
worth noting, Alamarosa got eliminated anyway, so she wouldn't have been able to do anything else with this competition.
why would CBS not give Omarosa or her inhaler? I don't know. I don't have the
I could have
answer.
sworn she was walking around with something and it looked like an inhaler.
Yeah, I thought so. That's what I thought. I thought it looked like she was holding something in her hand when she
I,
was
I
walking to the diary room.
I mean, I don't know if I saw it on TV or on the live feeds, but they were. I think it was live feeds. Like Mark was talking about like different medication he's got to take in the morning. So like, it's not like they're without their meds. Like CBS isn't going to kill them.
Yeah, right. But maybe it was just for like the competition that maybe her
I think
inhaler
she,
was inside.
I think she just forgot to bring it out. But I could have sworn she had it on her. Like I said, like she looked like she was walking with something, unless it was like the mic in her hand or whatever.
Right,
It's not like they don't
right.
have it, but I mean, not for nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not someone who had. Well, actually, I'm thankfully not someone who has asthma, but don't you think she was being a little dramatic?
I don't know. Never had an asthma attack.
Yeah, so I can't say from experience, but I mean, I'm probably just saying because it's Omarosa, so everything's questionable.
Yeah, I know. Let's just leave it. I mean, she was out for a while, so it had to have been something reasonable.
Fair
Um,
enough.
so yeah, so during this competition, from what I saw, James was crushing it like the whole entire time. Like every time he got up, he just totally crushed it. Mark was doing pretty well for a little while too. Ross did mostly okay until the last one against James, where he totally flopped. Uh,
But that's what happened with that because Shannon pulled James over and said like, "Hey, for the good of the alliance." And in the DR, her saying, "I don't totally trust you. I trust Ross," who Ross is totally manipulating Shannon. But anyway, she kept on saying that she wanted James to throw the competition, and James decided to throw it. But James was trying to fake it as bad as he could while Ross was doing his worst round.
yeah, I know, and it's
I'm a little surprised no one called him out for throwing it, at least that we've seen.
well, I think the only players that really would have caught on are Shannon and Ross, who are the super fans this season, and they're also in the alliance with him, so they know that he threw it and was
Yeah,
for them. So
I think if anything, Ross was like too high on the win to notice.
Patty says she has asthma, so she has experience.
Okay,
Fair enough.
I believe it.
Plus they don't give you drugs in the hospital, only steroids and oxygen. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
I'm not educated enough on this, so if she went out for asthma, I'll believe it. I won't argue that. Not
Mm-hmm.
any further.
Yeah, so James throwing it, I think it was a good move for him to throw this one. Um, although I think he should not have maybe not have dominated some of the like the second round he was in, he completely crushed it. Like he
You know
did
what
it
it is
in
though
one
too.
spin.
He didn't expect to be told to throw it. That happens like right when he was about to verse Ross.
Right, but if he was smart, he would have known to throw this competition anyway, because
Well, no. Well, he said again. I think it was in the DR. He said that he wanted to. He was in competitive mode, and he was in that competitive high that he just wanted to win.
right. I also think Ross should have thrown this one, but what do I know? You don't really want HOH power if you're in like a majority alliance, because then all the fingers get pointed at you. So if Ross makes a move this week against, well, he already has basically makes a move against Keisha and Omarosa, then the other one's going to be targeting them. So I think Ross made an error today. And
I don't think it's an error that'll kill him though. Like it's
no,
possibly to recover.
it's not going to kill him, but it's going to get him an unnecessary confrontation. Like maybe wait until week, or I'd say even
True, but not for nothing. If James and Ross were to both throw this competition, who else could they have thrown it to that wasn't like someone they could trust? You know what I mean? Like someone had to take it.
well, I would say that Ross should have thrown it to James, and Shannon should have not said anything.
Oh well. mean, it's all about Shannon's. Like, this is all Shannon's mistakes, is what I've seen in like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
episode.
Well, I mean, if Shannon's loyalty is with James, like Ross seems to think, then it was good for her.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
But
I'm
I
very
don't think
curious to see
for,
like what's gonna happen with Shannon. Like,
I,
I really think she might have a shot at this somehow.
I don't know. I don't think so.
We'll see.
They'd be. I mean, with it, with how hard she's playing right now, they'd be stupid to keep her any longer than after next vote.
We shall see.
And then James will be by himself, and then he can possibly sneak his way to the end. So maybe Chris will be right with his pick to win.
I think
God
Chris is
forbid.
probably gonna be right with his pick for win. There's a good shot. I mean, everything. It's Big Brother. This could literally change. The game will literally change tomorrow with an eviction.
It will. It will literally change probably as we're speaking. Maybe.
Yep.
All right. So All right. So Ross wins HOH. It's a little bittersweet because Omarosa's still in the hospital. Everyone's worried about her. The consensus seems to be that hey, I'm not sure if she's going to come out or not, but if she doesn't come out, then Keisha's not a threat on her own. So we might have to go after James and Shannon, which, mind you, which would have been a very similar situation that Cody got into himself during his week because everyone
I was thinking that.
Because everyone basically got safety or went and his target left the game early on, so he had to keep pushing his next move forward and forward. So
I think he had to like nominate like 5 people that first week.
Yeah, he did, and Ross would have. Well, Ross wouldn't have nominated 5 people, but he would have nominated. He would have not been able to nominate one person if Omarosa had left the game, so he would have gone after Shannon and James, I'm sure, for a backdoor. Patty says Ross is right to try and get rid of Shannon. I agree. I don't think it's I don't think that's the best move for him right now.
I think it's something to do by the end of this week.
Yeah, by the end of the week for sure.
Like Friday, would that be like his smartest move? I mean, is that what I want to see happen? Absolutely not. But I mean, I'm rooting for James and Shannon at the moment.
Yeah, because
that could change.
Shannon still has friends in the house, and she could rally some people. So I don't think it would be wise.
I think Brandy is someone who could swing. Brandy and Ari, I don't think that they're set where they are right now.
Well, no one's set. But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like even Mark or like could work with Shannon, or it's all up in the air.
There's just so many variables. This isn't like last season where we knew what was happening every single moment of the day.
Right. There's actually some speculation that has to go into this.
Yeah.
Some deep thought processes. Okay, so yeah, they kind of speculated, hey, if Omarosa doesn't go back, maybe we'll go after James and Shannon, with Shannon being the target. Okay, cool. It also shows you're not trustworthy with your alliances, breaking 2 in the first week. But what do I know? I'm only a super fan. Anyway, back to the game. So Omarosa does end up coming back into the game, thankfully. It was kind of a weird entrance, like when we remember like Christmas coming in Big Brother 19, when she got back from her injury, like everyone basically went to greet her, and everything was hey, yay, yay. Omarosa just walked in and immediately went to bed. It was similar to Audrey, I think, in one of her seasons. Yeah.
But it's like you literally see Omarosa like look both ways, trying to sneak in, like she didn't want to deal with people. I mean, not for nothing. I don't blame her for just wanting to go to sleep. But it was just weird. But what was weirder was everyone going into the room, looking at her, and then her moving around, and them just walking right out, not wanting to disturb her.
Right.
It was just awkward. They didn't really do anything, though.
Petty says that the people are loyal to Ross. Well, that's
true at the moment.
Yeah, anything can change.
Yeah, I mean, I think
they were loyal to Omarosa 3 days ago.
Yeah, pretty much. It was literally the day of the eviction where everything started to change. So,
exactly.
we'll see. I mean, tomorrow live eviction, so who knows what the hell's going to happen? We don't know if the veto's live or when the veto's going to be used or if the veto competition even happened yet. So
Yeah,
there's a good shot of us just witnessing everyone turn on Ross out of nowhere.
yeah. I hope the veto is played at some point tonight. Yeah, I think feeds are still on at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, so
Continuing.
yeah, so Ross then goes to nominations, and before that, he wants to make sure that she's okay. And I don't really think they have a chance to talk, but maybe they do, and they just didn't show it in the edit. But he nominates Omarosa. Omarosa responds with some sass, basically. It's all good fun. Because that's how Omarosa operates with sass. She's sassy and she knows how to like. She's
But Ross wasn't having it though. Ross was just like, well, okay, so then you could leave and I'll tell everybody else why I put you up.
Yeah. They were like sassing back and forth with one another. It was fun to watch. And it's like, yeah, it's nothing personal. And Omarosa is like, okay, you don't really have to say that.
I mean, the funny part is that Ross wanted to keep talking, and that basically was like, I just want to make it clear, it's nothing personal. Meeting adjourned. Like,
he already said that though, so it's like,
That's
can you
not-
let me? Can you let me finish and let me say what I just said, like a minute ago? Again,
whatever.
I think that's probably the edit's fault. I think. Anyway,
Maybe.
so Keisha and Omarosa are put on the block. Target is still unclear. There's been talks about Keisha going home.
Well, from what I've seen in live feeds a little bit, the talks were around Keisha going home because Keisha could still ally with somebody else, whereas nobody wants to work with Omarosa.
Do you think it was rude of Omarosa to interrupt his nominations? I think it's expected for Omarosa to do so.
I think it was more immature, like in my opinion. Like that's just how I see it. But I totally get Omarosa's point of view. Just like I want to do something. I don't want to go down without a fight, even if it's as petty as this.
Right. I mean, it's anything to draw attention, basically.
But yeah, no, I think Keisha would be the smart. If the veto competition happens and things stay the same, Keisha would be the smarter one to go because she would work with somebody else, whereas Omarosa is likelier to not work with somebody else, but just cause more drama. The other reason why they shouldn't let Omarosa go, and this is a live feeds thing, I mean not Omarosa, they shouldn't let Keisha go, and this is a live feeds thing, is that she's helping James cook, and James appreciates that.
Who's helping James cook?
Keisha. They made a comment that Keisha's like the only one in the house that can really cook good.
Well,
Celebrity problems.
you'd be surprised. That's a big brother issue.
I know.
All right. Anyway, I guess we'll call it there. I plan to do a live feed episode in a few hours, probably at like 3 a.m. Eastern or 2 a.m. Eastern, 2:30, something like that. Sometime in the next 5 hours.
When something happens on the feeds.
Well, I'll just say anything. Whatever happens is what I'll say happened.
True. But
Since
yeah,
our last video, yeah.
Yep, and tomorrow's live eviction, we find out who goes home, and we find out what the hell's going on with the veto.
If you guys support our channel, please consider checking out our Patreon below. We just got one a few weeks ago, and we're real excited about it. So if you enjoy our content, please consider becoming our patrons. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I want to give a shout out to Patty for supporting us in our endeavors on making videos on these reality shows. Thank you, Patty, for everything. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in a few hours with another video. Peace.